stunting. I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? The Buttu Entertainment. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend, share the video. Man, we're going to talk about the turmoil and boxing podcast with the managers, with the promoters, with the new media, with the old media. I mean, can we all just get along? I mean, it's one big whole platform, boxing in general. You know what I mean? We all on the same platform, YouTube, who's not owned by no black people. It's owned by white people. So we up here arguing and bickering and fussing about who started this, who started that, what you with, what group you with, what group you're not with. Look, we all in this game together to have fun, enjoy yourself, make a little bit of money if that's what you want to do, or if that's what you decide to do, or just to have fun and, you know, socialize on YouTube with your content, man. But a lot of you guys just taking it too far, man. You know what I mean? You're starting to beef with each other. You know, you don't like each other. I mean, what do it come this far? Is it this far now? Is it this gone with new media beefing with new media? You know what I mean? The old media beefing with new media. I mean, everybody should be in this game together to have fun. To have fun and do what you got to do and talk boxing. Talk boxing. That's all you got to do is talk boxing, man. And stop bringing all the rest of the negative energy into the boxing community. Stop bringing all this negative community into this boxing community. I don't care who you is. I'm me. I'm not with no organization. I'm not with nobody but the Rebuttal Entertainment. I mean, we got people beefing with each other. I mean, calling people out. You know, the LDBC. We got Dante Boxing Nation. We got new media, the Boxing Voice, Champ Side, Boxing Ego. Man, it's a whole bunch of channels out there. You know, they're doing their own thing. You know, minding their business and just talking about boxing in general. So when you come to point that you can't even talk about boxing without bringing somebody else content or podcast up, man. You know, this is what we all do, and this is what we're going to continue to do. You know, so we need to just shut up, mind our own business, and just talk about your podcast. You know what I mean? But if circumstances come where people bring up and you mention another podcast here or there, and let you know how you feel about the situation. All right, fine. You also can go to that content creator and let them know how you feel about that situation. Fine. Tag them in there. Instead of spreading it all over the whole boxing community like people is doing right now. We're just spreading it over the whole boxing community. I mean, I don't like this guy. I started this first 10, 20, 15 years ago. Man, we're a group. We got people, you know what I mean? Y'all mad that we don't allow people in the group, man. You know what I mean? People don't like PBC. People don't like Matchroom. People don't like this box, that box, that. I mean, this stuff is just getting out of hand, out of control, people. If you're not going to put the dukes up, what's the problem? I mean, everybody can be internet gangsters and do this and do that and talk behind the screen. So mind your business. Sometimes people just need to mind their business and let people, the content creators, just say what they want to say. No, and in terms of the other situations going on, what the boxers in hand, let me see. Like this boxer here, him right there. No, turns Bud Crawford. We don't know what he's asking. We really don't know what amount of money he's asking for. But whatever he's asking for, I'm quite sure he thinks he deserves it. I'm quite sure he asking for money, money to feed his family. But let me wake Terrence Crawford up right quick. You're not Manny Pacquiao. You're not Earl Spence Jr. And I'm just being real with this stuff, man. They say you can't sell. You know what I mean? But one thing you can do, you can fight like a mother hugger. You can fight. That's one thing you can do. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know the negotiations. I don't know none of that stuff. But I do know one thing, just being a podcast and stuff like that and having my own business and doing this. Neither one of you dudes worth $20 million, $30 million, $40 million. You're not even really worth $15 million. That's just my opinion. So if you're going to make the fight, you're going to make it. If you're not going to make the fight, move on. Stop holding everybody in limbo. That's what's starting a lot of this stuff anyway. The racism and the beefing and the who like this fighter and who like that fighter. Man, I wish they hurry up and get this fight over with. If not, move on so people can stop all this nonsense. And let me see, what's the next guy? This guy right here. Earl Spence Jr. He's another one. I don't know who you think you are. I don't know what's going on with the negotiations. I just don't know. Don't nobody know. Really don't nobody know. The Steve Kim don't know. Mike Carpentry don't know. Everybody can assume unless they in the meeting. Unless they really know the top two people in these meetings to give them information. Let me tell you, Blue Blood don't know. Champside don't know. The Rebuttal Entertainment don't know. The Boxing Voice don't know. Fanon don't know. Don't none of us know unless we in them rooms. But you know what? We can talk about it. We can talk about what we think. But a lot of people, they go overboard with the clickbait and stuff like that, but it's still their content. They can say and do whatever they want on their content, people. But Earl Spence, you got to do more than what you do, champ. You got to do more than what you do too. Because you're not worth 20 million. And I'm just saying this as a number, throwing it out there. You're not worth 30 million, 40 million. Neither one of y'all dudes worth this month. Neither one of y'all dudes worth that. Neither one of y'all dudes is worth that money, man. To me, you're not even worth 15. You barely might can get it. Because it ain't like you guys pulling in Canelo Alvarez pay-per-view numbers. Neither one of you dudes. You're not pulling in Canelo Alvarez pay-per-view number. So what makes you and Terrence Crawford think you guys can say I want this and say I want that? If this is true, if this is true, you guys don't deserve no $20 million. What do you guys think you're going to get it from? Your highest pay-per-view is 360, 350, something like that. Crawford's 2 something. You know what I mean? So you guys need to get together and swallow your ego and swallow your pride, man. And if you're going to make the fight happen, make the fight happen. Simple as that. Now let's go to the other guy. Let's go to this other guy. Bam, him. Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is still the pay-per-view king of boxing. His fans will follow him through hell and back. They will follow him to Idaho. They will follow him to planet Earth. Zenith and Saturn and Venus and all the rest of these planets out there. His fan base will follow him. He got a pay-per-view fan base and the people who will come watch him fight. So you two need to learn something from this guy. Start promoting yourself better and stop beefing with everybody else. Sell yourself. If you want that money, both of you guys, you need to sell yourself. Maybe the Americans will stop streaming the fights and pay for the fights. You know what I mean? But the streaming service is going to still get that money. But at least if you're selling yourself, you can expect some money coming back. This guy will get whatever he wants because he have a fan base on pay-per-view. Terrence Crawford, you have none. Earl Spence, you have a little. And that's the bottom line. So you guys need to swallow your pride and take advice from this guy. Take advice from this guy, Canelo Alvarez. He's selling himself. He got a fan base. Now he's talking big trash to a lot of people because he know how to speak English. You see how he grew? He went from not speaking English at all until knowing how to speak English and bringing people in. He got big quotes. You want payday and all this stuff. No, y'all need to get some Keith Thurman and some Adrian Broner in your life, man. Sell. If you want this money, Both of you guys want this type of money. You got to sell. You got to start selling. Stop being so quiet, man. You got to stop being so quiet. You know, there's only one guy that I know that's quiet and can still sell. And you know who that guy is? That guy right there. Javante Tank Davis. Javante Tank Davis. He the only guy I know that's quiet and have a following and don't have to say nothing. You know what I mean? He's not even fighting A-level fighters competition. He still sells out audience. He fought Rolly Romero. Ain't nobody know Rolly. The casuals don't know Rolly. And still almost made 300,000 pay-per-view. Now just imagine when this guy started fighting the Ryans and the Devins and the Lomachenkos and the Shakur Stevenson, how much money his pay-per-view numbers will be. That's why I said this guy, next to Canelo, is the pay-per-view king. You know, they're going to say Earl Spence because he's getting the numbers, but Earl Spence done leveled out. His only next big fight in pay-per-view is Terence Crawford, and it's not going to be that much because Crawford don't sell. You know what I mean? And neither one of these guys got no kind of imagination to go out there and hoop and holler. You know what I mean? Earl's biggest words were, you want to be like me. You want to be like me. Without me, it wouldn't be no pay-per-view. That's the biggest thing he said. You know what I mean? They had no charisma. Neither one of them fighters. Earl Spence or Terence Crawford. But both of them can fight their behinds off. Both of them. But this guy here, Javante Tank Davis, he has the charisma. He has the flair. You know what I mean? And he has the following. Just imagine, like I said, when he started fighting these A-level competition, how much his pay-per-view buys will sell. You know, how much his pay-per-view buys will sell. But these media guys, us podcasters, you know, we pick sides. Of course we pick sides. We don't like this guy. We like Devin. We don't like this guy. We like Shakur. Everybody has their side. Okay, it's their opinion, but do we have to go after each other? Do we have to disrespect each other and say this about you and your channel and say we started this first and all this stuff? Come on, man. We all on the same platform, and we don't own this platform. We don't own YouTube. The podcasters do not own YouTube. You know what I mean? The journalists, they do not own YouTube. None of these guys. The promoters, they do not own YouTube. You know, so we need to get it together, people. And speaking of promoters, let's talk about this guy. Al Heyman. PBC connoisseur. He don't own PBC, in case y'all don't want to know that. You know, PBC is owned by white guys. So I just want to let all you guys know he don't own PBC. But he need to tell these guys, you know, what it is. Stop holding it up. He need to stop relying on back-end money and do a little bit more promoting. He need to do a little bit more promoting. This is what we got for you guys. Terence Crawford, this is what we got for you. Earl Spence, this is what we got for you. And that's the most I can pull out. You know, pay-per-view, one of y'all sell a little bit, one of y'all don't sell that much. You know what I mean? We got sponsors and stuff like that, but it ain't going to help with the 20 and 20 or 15 and 15 or 10 and $15 million both of you guys want. And I'm going to say this again. You're not Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. So if it is true that y'all ask for a whole bunch of money, at least try to sell something, to do something, you know what I mean? Have some kind of personality to help sell these fights. Neither one of you guys, Earl Spence or Terence Crawford, has no kind of personality, any kind of personality, you know? But Al Heyman, he can make it happen, but he's no fool. He's no fool. You know, because he knows Canelo Alvarez is the cash king. And he knows you guys, he will lose a lot of money giving both of you guys $20 million or $15 million a piece. You know what I mean? That's $40 and $30 million a piece. Come on. It's not happening. When you guys bringing in the numbers, they quote unquote keep saying y'all bring in. You got to do with more. You both got to do more than what you're doing. Both of y'all have no personality. You're born and all this. And, you know, you just got to start motivating yourself if you want that amount of money. You know what I mean? Because the United States of America, all the fans are going left. They go right. They go sideways. They go up, down, and all this stuff. We all don't like the same fighters. Mexicans, they're going to support theirs regardless. Regardless, they're going to support their fighters. We're not like that. We're not like that. So Al need to be up front and tell these guys right now, this is all we have. This is all we're going to give. And if you can't take it, let's move on. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Let's move on, and you can't take it. So speaking of managers and promoters, I'm talking about this guy, Eddie Hearn. Now, this guy here, he lies so much, it's a shame. But you know what? He promotes. He really opened his mouth and promote. Now, this is something Bud Crawford and Earl Spence, you know, they need to take something from this guy, and he's a promoter. You know, he got a personality. He runs his mouth. People want to shut him up. Then they'll be ready to put him in the grave, bury him. You know, he runs his mouth, but he gets the job done to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But the Zone found out they're not giving him that money no more. That's why Devin Haney gone. Devin Haney wasn't worth no $4.5 million. You know what I mean? The Zone said, oh, no, that's not happening no more. So he's limited now. He killed Boo Boo Andre's career. You know, he had three fighters down there in the same Boo Boo Andre, Jaime McGill, Triple G, and didn't none of them fight each other. So he can promote himself and talk a lot of trash, but he can't make fights under his own banner. See, this is what these new media podcasters and stuff like that need to be talking about instead of picking and arguing all damn day about stupid stuff. Who cares who started stuff first? You know what I mean? If they in the group, they're in the group. Who started? Who patenting all this new media? He said, I mean, come on, y'all. We got to stop all this nonsense, man. You know, we got to stop it. We got to stop it. But, you know, I know you're not going to stop it until somebody might get hurt or something stupid like that, man. But I'm telling y'all guys right now, it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? New media against new media, old media against new media, podcasters against podcasters, managers against managers, promoters against promoters. If everybody against each other, you know what? We're going to get these fights done. If everybody against each other, how are we going to get these fights done? But I'm going to tell you bosses now, and you managers now, you better respect some of these new medias and old media folks. Because without them talking about you guys on that platform, wouldn't nobody know about none of you. Some of you, you know, I mean, especially the ones that can't fight, the C class and B class fighters, they can fight, no disrespect. But the ones that don't nobody really know about, you need to respect these journalists and these podcasters. You know what I mean? So I just had to break this down today. I had to break it down because there's a lot of bull crap going on. It's a lot of bull crap going on in boxing in terms of, you know, promoters and podcasts and all the rest of this stuff. People, just shut up and do your job and mind your own business, man. Because, you know, a lot of you guys really, really deep down in your heart, this is what you are. You know what I mean? You know, we know you wasn't born like that. You wasn't born tough and all this stuff, man. A lot of you guys are this. A lot of you guys are this. A lot of rats. So stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Do your job. Talk about your content, your promoters. You want to call somebody out, call them out. You know what I mean? But make sure it's real and it's facts. If people want to clickbait, it's their channel. They can do whatever they want to do. It's just simple as that, man. But stop all the nonsense. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be the baddest people in the world and on the planet and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're all behind screens. And then when you see each other, you don't say nothing. So stop the nonsense. You know, stop the nonsense, man. But yeah, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. We just got to get it together, people. We really have to get it together. And like I said before, if them two guys don't fight, let's move on from it, please. Let's move on from it and let's do some other things, man. The Rebuttal Entertainment. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video, tell a friend, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace and blessings, everybody.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend.